Good evening, Julien. How are you? How's Paris? How's life? How's Julianus?
Good morning, Max. Thank you for asking. Julien is doing good. And I've been waiting for a while because last time we spoke, you were supposed to send me some Chinese file, which, by the way, I've not received yet. And you were supposed to tell me your home phone story, but I also know you have some other appliances in your home you'd like to talk about. So I don't know. Where are we? What are we doing today?
Actually, you a couple of weeks ago, you talked a little bit when we were talking about car seats, and you got into your dancing washing machine.
Not dancing, racing. We could have a
washing machine. And I realized I have a washing machine story of my own, so I thought maybe I'd share that a little bit.
Yeah, please.
We have the washer and dryer set that is now about 25 years old.
Wow.
I bought it from the house before the house we live in now. And, they just work. And there's now all the shiny, pretty with a great big hole in the front load and the stuff. And every now and then I look at it, I go, oh, that would be nice. Ours are old and tired. And, but it's a washer dryer. They work. They don't, I do have one issue with the dryer, and I'm very happy to have an excuse to share this part of the story. It's getting a little more frequently. First it did it, and then it was about 3 to 5 years for the next one. And now it's like almost an annual event. I guess what happens is there's enough lint somewhere in the process that it doesn't vent as good as it should, and things get hot, and there's a fuse that blows, or a switch that blows. And I actually, the first time it happened, I got online and I went and watched some YouTube videos. I found out what it was, and it wasn't just, this is how awesome this moment was. It wasn't just that I could go and buy $1 part instead of paying, or a $5 part instead of paying somebody $100 to come out and fix it. It was, you actually could reset the fuse. And even better than that, it wasn't that you pressed a button to reset the fuse. You had to take the fuse and slam it on the ground. So talk about the single most pleasing repair you could possibly do. It's like, take this thing and slam it on the ground. So the first time it happened, I loved it because it was, kind of a fun thing. Second time, it was okay. But the thing is, in order to do this, I have to slide the dryer out, then I have to climb over and get to it. And I can't slide it as far as I'd like because they're on a little raised shelf, which is nice for day-to-day life, but a pain in the ass. And, then I end up having it back. And it's old. I don't want to do that anymore, ever. And it's not happening a lot, but it's happening more frequently. So it happened a couple of weeks ago. And I looked at my wife and said, okay, this is it. We're getting a new washer dryer. And my wife's like, they're not going to be reliable like these. And this is going to get similar to the car seat story a little bit, but it's, there's two things. One is we're in California, perpetual drought. I really believe the new ones use much, much, much less water, the new washers. So there's a good reason to get something new for that. But I really am worried that after being used to having something last for 25 years and being unhappy because every couple of years I have to do a small manual thing, I'm going to end up with something that in 5 to 7 years is just going to blow up and I'm going to have to replace all over again. So the issue here is kind of the planned obsolescence, and the way appliances in particular had a similar series of events with our dishwasher. And at what point do you jump into, okay, this thing's probably going to fail? Is there kind of what you were talking about before, through all of the hype and everything, is there anywhere I can find out this is the dishwasher that's going to, or the washing machine, washer dryer that are going to last? And is that going to be long enough to make me not just really regret buying it? So I'm stuck with this, appliances are fancier but less reliable conundrum.
And you probably won't know anyway, because, I mean, you would have to buy something that's already 10 years old to know that it's going to last for at least 10 years,
it's lasted, right?
If they just launched it this year, then as much bullshit as they'd like to give you, you can only believe what has been experienced, right? Well, no, I totally get how you feel. And that's very true. Most of the appliances we have nowadays won't last. That's a fact. And I definitely also feel the joy of repairing it. I had that Samsung tablet that worked beautifully for 2-3 years. So 3 years stopped working, and there is no more exciting moment than when you can actually crack it open and just following a YouTube tutorial actually manage to put that whatever was had to be fixed back in the right slot, close it back, it turns on. Well, dies again 2 days later, but that's a different story. But I get the excitement of fixing something. My job is marketing. In my university studies title, I'm a master of engineering. I've never touched a tool in my life, so when I can repair something, I do feel like I'm actually an engineer. It's always exciting to feel. But yeah, no, that is a pain, and I get why your wife is thinking, yeah, it's going to be shiny, it's going to be nice, it's going to be new. Try to convince yourself it will use less water. May or may not be true. That sounds more like something you need to tell yourself or your wife to convince her than an actual fact, but maybe very true.
Maybe, yeah.
But that's guaranteed that it's not going to last for 30 years like this one is lasting. And it's all, I guess at this point, it's all about considering, I feel it's going to last 5 years. This is the total price, $500 means I'm going to amortize it over the next 5 years. It's $100 a year. How much do I pay? How much trouble to change the fuse every year on the existing one? This plus that, this minus that, that's a good deal or that's not a good deal. I guess, unfortunately, it's back to, price against life value of that item.
Yeah. And so this is supposed to be about the customer experience and customer service or customer experience. And it's a bad customer experience to buy something that can last 30 years that only lasts 5. But this is a case where the company incentive is so against the good experience, because selling you an appliance every 5 years is a whole lot more profitable than selling you one every 30 years.
But that's when you start trying to be smart about it as a company and change your model. We talked about this a few weeks back. And you made fun of my story because I said, this appliance store that now offered a monthly package to repair your thing. And you told me, well, that's just what every store would do back in the 50s or in the 60s. And now it comes as something amazing, but that just used to be the standard. And that's probably what we should go back to. I mean, if you want to have a satisfied customer but still get money out of it, maybe you, on top of the actual hardware, maybe you start selling the service that goes with it. And that's a smaller amount, but that's recurring, that's safe. As a company, recurring business, that's why SaaS companies love the MRR, because monthly recurring revenue is something that everyone is comfortable with.
That's a good thought, because my first reaction to that was going to be, oh, that doesn't work, because like on my dishwasher, the panel blew, and on my $400 dishwasher, replacing the panel was $125, and there was a controller in it that went the next year that was another $125, and now I'm pretty darn close to the second time that blows, I bought a new washer. But you're right, if there's a $10 a month for $10 would be too much, but whatever, if there's some sort of ongoing thing where it pays for it, yeah, That would be nice. I would sign up for that in a heartbeat. In the US, we have, you probably have them there too, like third-party insurance companies that will do services like that. But I don't try. I just know that once something happens there, I'm going to have to fight them so hard to get what I want that I'd rather take my chances.
That's the thing. I think I'm a great customer for most insurances because unless it's really, really, really worth it, I'm not even going to fight because I know I'm going to have to jump through so many hoops that
Right.
That's a $15 appliance. Look, I'll take the cost. I'll take the hit. Don't bother me calling an insurance for that. So it may exist in France. I literally have no idea. That's the least I deal with insurances, the better I feel usually when it comes to fighting for my rights.
It's got to be a lot of money to be worth the battle.
Yeah,
we're busy.
Well,
I mean,
absolutely.
it's silly.
So, did you actually make a decision? Where do you stand now? Are you guys still considering? Are you going to buy something?
It's funny how much this conversation ties to your car seat one. My next step is to do research, see if I can find a washer dryer that I'm convinced really has, I'll take 10 years. Can I go out, can I online find something that says these last a long time and believe it, not have it be from the comparison site where this is the vendor who paid the most to get the nicest review. That's my next step. And I'm cynical. I'm going to find anything that makes me happy. It's working again. I got a hunch I won't worry about this again until the fuse goes again.
Well, look at the bright side. Maybe that new washer you're going to buy, maybe it's going to race through the room as well. And maybe we can organize some online races to see which wins. Right?
Beautiful. That's the answer right there.
Well, keep us updated because we definitely want to know where this washer story is going. And I do want to hear about your home phone line because that's a mystery to me. So
yes,
if not next week, has to be the week after that.
Okay, that sounds good. There is stuff going on in the background. All will be explained soon.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Max. Have a beautiful day and talk to you next week then.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Julien. Take care.
Bye.